If you're looking for the absolute cutest little brownie Halloween idea, possibly something to keep the kids busy during the holiday season, or even something to give away as edible gifts to your family and friends, these little Boo-Brownies are exactly what you've been looking for, and I'm going to show you how to make them right now. Let's begin with the dry ingredients. So I'm going to be adding a little bit of flour to a small mixing bowl or a medium mixing bowl. We're going to be adding some cocoa powder. Cocoa powder is one of my least favorite ingredients to work with. I'm a huge chocolate lover, but it just gets everywhere. So put it in the bowl very slowly unless you want a cocoa dust cloud in your kitchen. We're going to be adding a little bit of salt, and I'm just going to gently whisk these ingredients together. And that is our dry ingredients done. Let's move on to the rest of the ingredients. Now, over on my stove, I've had some butter, which I've melted. I've just let it come to room temperature. We're gonna pour that into our bowl. Then we're gonna add our brown sugar. So gently put it in there so that the butter doesn't splash everywhere. We'll use our whisk just to combine everything together. I've switched over to my bigger whisk because it's just a little bit easier. Now we're gonna let this set at room temperature for about 5 minutes because it's still a little bit warm to add the eggs into. Once it has cooled down, we're gonna add our eggs one at a time, and we're gonna whisk each time until they're all in there. Once you've added your eggs, you're actually gonna notice this is gonna go super glossy and smooth, and that's exactly what you want. So we are gonna add a good splash of vanilla extract to this. And I'm gonna add a coffee shot. So this is just a coffee shot from my coffee machine. If you don't have one of those, you can just add a little bit of instant coffee powder with some hot water, mix it up, and this is actually going to help elevate the chocolate flavor. You won't really taste the coffee. You can leave it out if you like, but it's really, really great for a brownie recipe like this. All right, now that we have all of that mixed in, we're gonna add our dry ingredients. So just pop them all in there. I'm actually gonna switch over to a spatula because it's gonna get a little bit too thick for this whisk. And we just want to fold all of this through until the mixture all comes together and you can't see any dry ingredients showing. Now that our mixture is done, we want to line a 9 by 9 inch square cake tin. We're gonna spray it with a little bit of oil to begin with because it's just gonna help that paper stick. So just very lightly spray it. Now, I actually have a video showing you guys how to line different types of cake tins. It just makes getting your cakes and your slices out a lot easier. In this case, we're actually leaving a good amount of overhang so that it makes lifting our brownies out of our cake tin a lot easier. To help that second layer stick to the bottom, we're just gonna give it another spray and add it into our cake tin. Pour your batter into your cake tin and use a spatula just to spread it around nice and evenly before you pop it into the oven for 40 minutes on 175 degrees Celsius. That's 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it's finished baking, let it cool down completely. And once it has cooled, we're gonna move on to the ghost marshmallows. I'm gonna show you how to make them right now. Hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. If you are, hit the like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button to make sure you keep up to date with all of my newest videos. Back to this video. So these are some brownies that I made yesterday, and you can see the overhang makes lifting these out so much easier. Now, just a quick note before we move on to the ghost marshmallows. The bit of these brownies that we're actually going to be using is the underside of the brownies where it's nice and smooth. That is where we're going to be piping our marshmallows. So keep that in mind when you start piping. The first thing we're going to do for the little ghost marshmallows is prepare the gelatin. So I've got a little bit of powdered gelatin here. Measurements are up on screen. We're gonna pop this into a little mixing bowl and we're gonna add a 1/4 cup or 60 mils of cold water. It's really important that you use cold water. Now, I found the easiest way to mix up these two ingredients is using a fork. I don't know why this works, but it helps stop the gelatin from like automatically setting and getting really, really lumpy. So mix these two ingredients together really, really well. We're gonna set this aside for 5 minutes to bloom. So blooming means that the gelatin crystals soak up the water and you kind of activate them, I guess. So let this bloom for 5 minutes and we're gonna move on to making our syrup. To make the syrup, I'm actually gonna take you guys over to the stove. We're gonna add our water and sugar to a medium-sized saucepan. You wanna give this a gentle stir to begin with. Once you've given it this gentle stir, you won't be mixing it again, otherwise you risk it crystallizing. Bring it to a gentle boil on medium heat, and then you want to let it simmer for about 5 or 6 minutes. Take it off the heat and add your bloomed gelatin and mix that until everything is well combined. To whip this up, I'm going to be using my stand mixer. So if you don't have a stand mixer, you can use a hand mixer, that's completely fine. But today we're going to be using Peggy, which is what I've called my stand mixer. You want to pour your syrup mixture into your mixing bowl. We're going to fit this with a balloon whisk and we're going to mix this on medium speed to begin with for a couple minutes. Then we are going to whip this up to high speed. You're going to notice that the mixture is going to go really white, thick and glossy, and it's going to get a little bit bigger in size, but the important thing is that it gets nice and thick. Now that our mixture is done and you can see that this has gone really thick, white and glossy, it's perfect for piping. So we're going to put this into a piping bag fitted with a small round tip. So this is one of my favorite parts of this recipe, piping the actual ghosts. Super duper easy, guys. So my mixture is in my piping bag. I actually only put about a spatula full of the mixture in the piping bag because this does set quickly. So I've got the rest in the mixture ready to whip up when I need to kind of reinvigorate the marshmallow mixture. So this is really, really easy. We're basically going to begin by piping. I'll start in the center, piping a little blob, and then to get the little ghost tail, we stop piping and kind of lift away. And there's a little ghosty there. So you want to pipe different size ghosts and then kind of have their little tails floating in different directions just to make it look a little bit more interesting. I'm going to finish this off and then we're going to pop this in the fridge, let it set for about 30 minutes, and we're going to come back and finish decorating. So this has been setting in the fridge for about 20 or 30 minutes, so it's like really, really set. And it's important because the next step requires it to be set in order for it to work, and that's adding the details, so the faces on the little ghosts. Now, in the written recipe, there'll be a suggestion on how to do that, and one way is to use chocolate. So you add chocolate into a piping bag. You can use black candy melt or dark chocolate and pipe the little faces on, but I'm actually going to be using a black food safe marker. Because these are really, really set, it's easy to draw on top of them. So it's as easy as just drawing the little face details. I will say, these are possibly the cutest Halloween treats ever. And I've made some very cute Halloween treats. These little ghosts, who knew that ghosts had little rosy cheeks? I didn't, but apparently they do. I'm gonna give this a try. These brownies look absolutely delicious and fudgy. These are so cocoa-y and delicious. And those little ghost marshmallows are so delicate. They're not chewy marshmallows. They're like melt in your mouth marshmallows. I hope you guys have enjoyed spending time with me in my kitchen during Halloween. And I would love for you guys to try this recipe for yourselves. It's so easy to make. You just saw how easy it was to make. You don't have to do the rosy cheeks. You can skip that if you like. These are just as cute without them. I have a recipe over there. If you guys want to see more Halloween stuff from me, I made cute little pumpkin Halloween cookies with chocolate and cinnamon sugar. So yum. Check that video out, make those as well. Perfect gift for Halloween if you want to give a gift away, like an edible gift. There's also a subscribe button up there. Click on that to make sure you don't miss out on new videos. I'll see you all on the next episode of the Scran Line. Oh, join me in the comments down below as well if you have any suggestions on other videos you'd like to see, other recipes. Bye.